Look, if you want a life that's different from everybody else's, you simply cannot do what everybody else is doing. It's that simple. I'm telling you, I started with nothing. No qualifications, no cash in the bank, and I became a multi-millionaire. How did I do it? It wasn't magic. I just learned how to avoid these 7, let's call them traps, that keep 99% of people completely stuck. And today, I'm going to walk you through every single one. Back in my early 20s, a mentor told me something that it completely rewired my brain. He said, if you want a life that isn't like everyone else's, you have to make sacrifices that other people aren't willing to make. Man, that one idea, that became my North Star. It guided every single decision I made from that day forward. So what are these traps, right? What are these default settings that just lead people to an average life, or worse, keep them broke? All right, let's get into it. Okay, first up. And this is by far the biggest, most common trap of them all. It's this obsession with chasing money instead of valuable skills. I'm telling you, this one decision right here can literally define the entire trajectory of your career and your bank account. So look, you've basically got two choices, two paths you can go down. There's path A, that's the job for money. Yeah, you get a higher salary right out of the gate. Feels good, doesn't it? But look what happens. Your growth just hits a wall. It flatlines. Then you have path B, the job for skills. Now, the starting pay is lower. I get it. It's the tougher road at first. But just look at that curve. Your earning potential absolutely explodes. There's no ceiling. This is the path to real long-term wealth. You're basically trading a little bit of short-term status for long-term freedom. So what kind of skills are we talking about here? Well, right now, the clearest path is with these high-income online skills. Things like copywriting, video editing, coding, running ads. The demand for people who can actually do this stuff well is through the roof. And here's a little secret for you. Yeah, a ton of people say they can do these jobs, but honestly, 99% of them are just not that good. So your real competition? It's way, way smaller than you think. And that leads us to the other half of this equation, the real endgame, equity. See, once you've got those killer skills, the next step is to own a piece of the pie. You want to own a piece of the value you're helping create. Maybe that means starting your own business, or maybe it means earning a stake in the company you're working for. Either way, equity means you get a cut of the profits. You have to remember this. Skills will make you a good living, for sure. But equity is what builds true wealth. All right, let's move on to trap number 2. And man, this one is on steroids thanks to social media. It's the obsession with looking rich, which, ironically, is the absolute fastest way to guarantee you stay poor. I mean, you scroll through your feed and what do you see? Lambos, private jets, expensive dinners. And it's so easy to feel like you're losing, like you're falling behind. But here's the cold, hard truth. Look at this number, 37%. That's how many Americans can't even cover an unexpected $400 bill. A flat tire could bankrupt them. So what you're seeing online, that flexing, it's not wealth. It's a house of cards built on debt. It's a game of appearances, not a game of building anything real. So here's what you absolutely have to understand. The difference between an asset and a prop. A prop is just for show. It's the flashy car, the designer clothes, stuff you pay for that just drains your wallet. But an asset? An asset is a machine that pays you. It's stocks, a business, real estate, things that work for you and make more money while you sleep. Especially when you're starting out. You have to forget the props. Every single spare dollar needs to go into buying more of these money-making machines. Okay, trap number 3. This is a big one, especially for all you high achievers out there. It's this belief that you can and should do everything yourself. This lone wolf mentality. I'm telling you, it will absolutely murder your growth. You could be the most talented person on the planet, but a talented team will crush you every single time. And there's no better example of this than the PayPal mafia. I mean, think about it. These guys didn't just cash out after selling PayPal and go sit on a beach. No way. They leveraged their collective skills, their capital, their connections, and went on to create YouTube, LinkedIn, SpaceX, Yelp. They basically built the modern internet. That is the insane power of a network. But listen, you don't have to be Elon Musk to make this work for you. Here is a massive, and I mean massive opportunity, especially for you younger folks. Go find an old school business owner, a plumber, a roofer, a local contractor, somebody who's amazing at their trade but totally clueless when it comes to technology. You can go in there with your modern online skills, offer to build them a website, systemize their invoicing, manage their team online. You can literally bring their business into the 21st century. and they will pay you a fortune for it because to them it's like magic.
All right, trap number 4. This one isn't about what you do, but who you listen to. Because let's be real, in today's world, we are just drowning in information. We're drowning in opinions, and it is completely paralyzing.
Think about it. Your parents have an opinion, your friends have an opinion, and then you've got 1,000 so-called gurus on the internet all screaming different advice at you. What happens? Your brain just can't take it. It's called cognitive overload. You get so overwhelmed with all the choices that you just freeze. You do nothing at all. And then you beat yourself up for being lazy, but it's not laziness, it's just mental fatigue. So what's the fix? It's actually super simple. You have to become a ruthless filter. First, get crystal clear on your goal. Then, find 1, maybe 2 people who have actually achieved that exact goal and listen only to them. That's it. You have to tune out all the other noise because fewer inputs leads to more clarity. And when you have clarity, you can execute with absolute laser focus. Okay, we're moving into the final traps now. And I gotta tell you, these last ones, they are arguably the most dangerous of all. Why? Because they're not out there in the world. They're inside your own head. They are your inner enemies. The 5th trap and our first inner enemy is ego. Oh man, arrogance is such a silent wealth killer. It's that little voice in your head that convinces you I've got it all figured out. And the second you believe that, you stop learning. It's like this iceberg, right? What you know, that's just the tiny little tip you can see above the water. All the real deep knowledge is hiding below the surface. And your ego is the very thing that prevents you from ever looking down. Trust me on this. The person who stays humble and keeps learning will always run circles around the arrogant one in the long run. This brings us to trap number 6, our second inner enemy, blame. And every single day you have a choice. You can pick up a magnifying glass or you can pick up a mirror. The magnifying glass, that's for looking at everything and everyone else. It's for blaming the economy, your boss, the system. It's a tool for finding excuses. The mirror, though, the mirror forces you to look at the one thing you actually have control over, yourself. It's a tool for finding responsibility. This ancient proverb just says it all, doesn't it? As long as you're pointing that magnifying glass outwards, you're going to stay exactly where you are. You're stuck. But the moment, the very second, you decide to look in the mirror and take full ownership for your actions and your results, that's when everything starts to change. That's when you start winning. And that brings us to the 7th and final trap, our third inner enemy, the comfort zone. I'll just show you my own journey here. And every single major turning point in my life, growth only happened when I did something that scared me. Leaving school at 16? Uncomfortable. Taking a huge bank loan in my 20s to start a business? I was terrified. Expanding our business to China in my 40s? A massive risk. Heck, even starting this channel at 53 felt weird and new. But every single one of those uncomfortable steps, that's what made my world bigger. You have to understand this. Your comfort zone is not your friend. It's not a safe harbor. It is a self-imposed prison. It feels safe, but it's the place where your potential goes to wither away and die. All growth, all opportunity, everything you want in life, it's all waiting for you just on the other side of what feels comfortable right now. So, I'm going to leave you with one final question. And I want you to be brutally honest with yourself. Of those 3 inner enemies we just talked about, ego, blame, or the comfort zone, which one is your biggest battle right now? Which one is holding you back the most? Because just figuring that out, that's the first step to escaping the trap.